Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Turning our attention now to football. Match week 12 of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Ascension Tournament kicked off a short while ago with Deportivo Port Fortin tackling Central FC. And that match is currently on live on SportsMax 2. There's the action there. And lots of action coming up in this tournament later on this evening on SportsMax 2 as well as over the weekend. And the Rangers, George, continuing to top the table, putting a little bit of a gap between themselves and chasing Defence Force last weekend. And at the moment, no goals yet in this Central FC Deportivo fixture.
Yeah, we called it last week where we called the Rangers winning and we called Defence Force stumbling. So yeah, that 2 points. People will say, well, it's just 2 points, but it's significant because this is the first time that 2 points have separated them in the table for several rounds now.
Yes.
So yeah, the Rangers are sitting pretty. Not much change in the table over the past 4 match weeks, if any at all. I can't think of any big move or anybody losing form and dropping down.
Kunupia dropped a bit though. They were, I think, fourth.
Kunupia.
3 weeks.
Yes,
three weeks ago they
were
apart.
Them apart.
Fourth, yeah, but they're down now to 6th.
Everybody's holding firm, and of course the Whipping Boys continue to be that. Only 7 goals scored by Moruga in their 11 games, and everybody wants to play them because at this rate they're almost giving up 5 goals each game. You're sure of 4, and you may pinch a 5th one, and it's not going well for the team in 10th at all.
Yeah, and the other game scheduled for the weekend, let's have a look at them now. As you said, this Deportivo game is currently on, coming up in the featured match on SportsMax 2 this evening. Rangers, the leaders, up against Central Soccer World. And then the remaining games over the weekend, Moruga against Kunupia, AC Port of Spain against Defence Force, and Police tackling Real West Fort United. Match week 13 in the Trinidad and Tobago Ascension League Tournament, off and running. And that's the action coming up. And as I said, all of those matches will be live on SportsMax over the weekend, including this big one coming up tonight with the Rangers on show. In the Jamaica Premier League coming up on Monday, we have the Championship Playoffs starting up. Harbourview will be up against Arnett Gardens. You can look out for that one at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time on SportsMax 2 on Monday. That's going to be a hot one. Cavalier are taking on Mount Pleasant in the later game on Monday, 7:30, 8:30 Eastern Caribbean time. So Cavalier against Mount Pleasant, and Harbourview taking on George's team, Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, really excited to see some knockout football in the Jamaica Premier League now, where everything is on the line. And
2 legs though, so
yes.
whatever happens Monday just sets the stage for the return fixtures, and they'll have an opportunity to get done on the second leg if they didn't get it done in the first.
Yeah, but if you noticed, and the reason I went so strong on the point, in the history of whether it's the RSPL or the new guys, well, this JPL has only had 1 season, but the RSPL knockout stages, not many teams overturn first leg deficits.
Yes.
So the team that held the advantage going in usually holds firm. So there'll be a lot to play for in those opening legs.
Yeah, and we saw a competitive battle between a lot of these teams in the regular season, and based on what we saw in current form of the teams, hard to predict some of these playoff matches, because we know that apart from Waterhouse and Dunbeholden, who have put themselves 1 and 2, after that the results are pretty unpredictable.
Yeah, what you could say, that is true, but what you could say, if you're looking at the 4 teams here, you've seen games this season where Arnett Gardens have looked a match for anybody and have looked like the best team in the league. You've seen, well, Mount Pleasant not quite so, but apart from the opening first 4-round match weeks or so when they looked really good and they were winning and scoring plenty goals under Wally Downs and they fell off. But even them, you had a time when Mount Pleasant really looked like the muscle team in the league, and Arnett looked like the most fluent attacking team in the league. At no time have Harbourview looked like the best team in the league, and at no time have Cavalier looked like the best team in the league. But that means nothing, because they are here with starting from 0-0 against their respective opponents, and they can do damage. But the other teams are sure of themselves and sure of the performances they can produce, because they produce the performances this season that make them more dangerous than anybody else we've seen in the league. Cavalier and Harbourview still have that little to attain.
What are your views, though, on Ronaldo Cephas, who is off to some business with North Macedonia club and likely to not be in the Arnett Garden setup for these playoffs? How much will they miss him?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge miss because he's X-factor. He's X-factor. The defenders can't play him. You can't play him one-on-one. You can't man-mark him because he's just that quick and he's direct. People forget that. He's a direct runner. He doesn't want to beat a man 2-3 times. He's not interested in that. He gets by and he's gone. And also, so the one-on-one defending can't work. If you send 2 men to mark him, you're giving up a lot of advantage to the Arnett attackers because there are other men who are equally as dangerous and lethal finishers. So you want to be able to man-mark man-to-man. You don't want to have 2-on-1 and creating an overload on one player because you free up somebody else. So he will be a huge miss, and especially because this season, much of what Arnett have done offensively very well has involved him.
Yes.
So with him out of the equation, recalibration is necessary. And I'm sure, you see, coaches like to make it seem as if, oh, that's a simple thing. It's not a simple thing to adjust for a player who's been central to your attacking plans in a campaign. Yes. So with him out, Rademakers, the assistant coach, and Paul Teagat-Davis are going to have to recalibrate. The players are going to have to be mindful of other solutions and not Cephas. So Arnett Gardens are weaker for his absence. So are they weak? No. But they are weaker for Cephas' absence.
You're absolutely right. Not weak. Arnett not weak. And certainly in offence, not weak, even without Cephas. We have more to come on the SportsMax Zone after the break.